Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
How you doing, everyone? Ron here. We're gonna have a little bit of lighthearted fun this morning. Tampa Brad, believe it or not, did respond to the video that I published a couple days ago. He actually responded almost immediately. But I've had other things going on, and we're just getting around to this now. Scientology has got to be absolutely losing their mind that this guy keeps putting up videos proving that not only does he watch my videos, but continuing to put things on the internet that reflect negatively on Scientology. In Brad's response, he quotes directly from an L. Ron Hubbard policy and also from none other than Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone, another Scientologist fraudster who's under FBI investigation. According to information I have, he's also in the crosshairs of the IRS and the SEC. Grant Cardone ain't the guy that you want fronting for you in something like this. Okay, so let me share this with you here. This is only like a 5-minute video, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this today. But there's some stuff here worth talking about. So hold on, let me get my little chat ready. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Ruth. Okay, let's Oh, by the way, I asked Mike Rinder. Here, let me change the view here a little bit so you can kind of see a little bit more of me. I asked Mike Rinder about this Tampa Brad situation on our live stream last night, Mondays with Mike and Mark. And if you haven't checked that out, you might want to check it out. YouTube's been doing some funny things with that video since we did it yesterday. And I said, hey, look, when you were running Scientology's Office of Special Affairs, how would you have dealt with this situation where you have a guy who is sort of trying to be the public poster child of Scientology on YouTube, and it's discovered that one of the ways he's funding his Scientology services is by doing, I have to choose my words carefully, entertainment on the internet of a mature variety with his wife. And Mike answered that question. And I won't rehash the whole thing right now, but he said the fact that Scientology has not cracked down yet on Tampa Brad is actually evidence of the state of disarray that they are in, because something like this would have been, they would have put the kibosh on this absolutely immediately. Okay, without any further ado, guys, let's take a look at this. If I go full screen here, no, we already were full screen. Okay, here we go.
Hey, what up? It's Tampa Brad, and in this short video, I want to tell you how to deal with haters and actually the exact you could say L. Ron Hubbard reference that I use whenever I start getting a lot of hate or anything like that, because, you know, it happens to everybody sometimes. If you start getting out there and putting yourself out there, you gonna get some haters. So before I go into, because I want to actually share a little excerpt from a policy that L. Ron Hubbard wrote. But first I want to define a word, and the word is squirrel, and I'm going to read out of the glossary here. A squirrel, it's a
By the way, guys, I did just fix the volume. My mic was not the registered microphone that was being used. Does that sound a little better now? Just let me know.
noun, and it's defined as someone who uses strange, careless, incomplete, or incorrect procedures instead of standard tech and policy procedures. Now, tech and policy is something that L. Ron Hubbard uses to refer to the technology, the spiritual technology, and the policies used by Scientology organizations. So again, a squirrel is someone who uses strange, careless, incomplete, or incorrect procedures instead of standard tech and policy procedures. So you can take that, you know, in my words, the squirrel would be, you know, somebody who is exposed to Scientology, decide that, you know, they need to alter it. They can't just take it as it is and can't accept that it works. Probably might even have a problem with the fact that it works. And, you know, that's kind of my spin on that definition. That's how I define it for myself. That's how I think of it. So
The Scientologist, the former Scientologist out there will get a kick out of the fact that he essentially just said he's squirreling the definition of squirrel. You're not supposed to put your own spin on the definition, Brad. You're supposed to understand it exactly as it is and apply it correctly. So stop squirreling, you squirrel.
I'm going to read from an article that Mr. Hubbard wrote in May of 1958. The title of it is Signs of success.
I can't help it, guys. I just got to stop it right here. It strikes me that Brad has never seemed to really crystallize on who is his actual audience. Does he think his audience is Scientologists, or does he think his audience is the world at large? Because the only body who would give a damn about a quote from an L. Ron Hubbard reference is a Scientologist. It's like, I just really can't wrap my head around it. And this is an example of why Scientology really, if they weren't in such a state of disarray right now, would immediately crack down on him. You're not supposed to take, there's certain parts of Scientology that are intended to be portrayed to the general public, because L. Ron Hubbard, determined that these were the parts of Scientology that will get people interested. You're not supposed to dive into like core Scientology and present it to the public, because the public doesn't care about that. And if he thinks his audience is Scientologists, that's an even bigger problem for Scientology, because he's setting himself up as sort of the person Scientologists should go to for advice. That's not acceptable in Scientology. You're supposed to go to L. Ron Hubbard for the advice, not to Tampa Brad. So, all right, let's keep going.
And it goes like this. Whenever we're really winning, the squirrels start to scream. You can tell if somebody is a squirrel. They howl or make trouble only when we're winning. Then he says, spectacular success can quadruple the number of complaints. Sorry, I saw myself up. I thought it said successes. So I'll give that to you again. Spectacular success can quadruple the number of complaints. And then he says, tell the complainees, come in, get clear. Otherwise, skip it. Then later, he says, that's a squirrel. They can't view other people helping others without going berserk. Then he says, there's nothing personal in having squirrels. Even heroes can have lice. That's by L. Ron Hubbard.
All right. So there's a lot more to come here. Well, not a lot, just a few more minutes. But so here's what's interesting. Even though the entire quote is just a way for L. Ron Hubbard to dismiss anyone that calls Scientology out for abusive practices. Yeah. So even though the quote is used to just silence any criticism, at least in Scientology, there's sort of a cohesive, what's the word I'm looking for here? Kind of a consistent way of thinking about why that would be true. Hubbard says Scientology is setting people free, saving the world, and therefore it poses a threat to the people that would rather everyone be enslaved, like Big Pharma and the big psychs and the international bankers and all that kind of stuff. So at least there's sort of a consistency to the logic. For Brad to think this applies to him is like, Brad, are you saving the world? You run a shoddy home remodeling business that is mired down in lawsuits. You don't even have a GC license. You don't even have a history in this industry, but you act like you're saving the industry, that you're saving the world. And if anyone were to criticize you, it's because they can't stand that you're succeeding. This is another reason Scientology, if they had their act together, would shut him down. Because he's creating an equivalency that Scientology really would rather he was not out here creating.
That is just a policy that really, it's actually a bulletin. It's what's called anyways, it's a red on white, if you know what that means. But it's a bulletin by L. Ron Hubbard.
He's assuming the classic Grant Cardone pose. I'm about to do a compilation of all the times Grant Cardone is in interviews and leans back and puts either one or both arms behind his head. It is hilarious.
Just those couple lines out of that reference really encompass it. But it's I've always tried to employ this because I've gotten hate for other things that I've done. And it's just like, I mean, either they want to be a part of it or just skip it. Just move on, keep doing what you're doing. If there's a graph that's going up.
I got to tell you, these graphs, those are very problematic graphs to anyone who has a history of dealing with graphs in Scientology. That graph he's pointing to, that he's saying that's an amazing graph, in Scientology land, that's a 12-week emergency trend. That's not even considered a rising statistic.
Keep it going up. And, haters be damned. And like Grant Cardone says, if you got 10 haters, go get you 10 more. So that's just a little fun thing for you. If you're dealing with people who are hating on you, are talking bad about you, putting out things about you, dude, you need that. That is the best promotion you can get. That is the best promotion you can get.
The best promotion
almost doesn't get any better than that. If
you can get.
Some haters really just like fixated on you, they're flowing power to you. That is powerful. There is, I think, you know, this isn't a quote, but there's an idea in one of the there's basic books in Scientology. One of the basic books contains the idea. This isn't an exact quote, but the idea is that there's nothing scarcer in this universe than attention. Like attention. Oh no, here's what it is. Attention is the most valuable commodity in this universe. So if you have somebody giving you attention, oh my God, dude, those people are fueling your dreams for yourself and your family. So to anybody who's giving me their attention, thank you. Seriously, thank you.
You're welcome, Brad.
For fueling my dreams for myself and my family. It's fucking awesome. My wife got some hate. Now she's like, okay, well, it's a sign. Now I got to start.
I promise you, his wife did not get any hate. She probably got tens of thousands of new fans.
My own YouTube channel, start sharing my wins too. So
wait, let's see what it just said.
Like, my family, it's fucking awesome. My wife got some hate. Now she's like, okay, well, it's a sign. Now I got to start my own YouTube channel, start sharing my wins too. So it's working. The people who are giving us attention are causing us to expand. So thank you. We know that was your intention.
You're so welcome, Brad. And look, Brad has just released some really mind-boggling news. Not only is he going to keep promoting Scientology on YouTube, his wife's going to start her own channel to start promoting Scientology on YouTube. Now, I got to be honest. I feel like his wife would be a little more successful into getting people into Scientology than Brad would, if you know what I'm saying. So this could be fantastic news, not only for Scientology, but for me. I get to respond to both of their videos. All right, let's see what else. This is almost done.
And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below. I'm going to throw a book recommendation in this one as well. I'm going to do Science of Survival, because that is a great book by L. Ron Hubbard on how to spot people and predict their behavior. It actually has a tool in the back of the book that you can use to predict anyone's behavior, even based on just knowing them for like 3 or 5 minutes. So the book is Science of Survival. Would highly recommend it, especially if you're dealing with people a lot and you're like, why did that person do this to me? It's like, well, look in the back of that book. It'll tell you. And the whole book is about that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll put the link to the book Science of Survival in the link. Go and grab a copy. That is like, I mean, I've got one. I've got one on my shelf right here. I even keep the hardcover with me. I always have one with me because it's like,
oh my
that
God.
book is like a toolkit for life. Thanks for watching. See you in the next vid. Peace.
Guys, what is there to say about this? Seriously. So look, I know the chats that me and Mark and Mike do. They're long chats. I have put chapter breaks for every question and every subject. If you haven't seen the chat that I did with Mike Rinder and Mark Headley yesterday, go check it out. Right in the beginning of the interview or the Q&A, there's a section just called How Would Scientology Deal with Tampa Brad? And you can get Mike Rinder's perspective on this. It really is incredible. There's another young guy out there who has tried to do something similar to what Brad has done. His name is Ryan Prescott. And anyway, Mike gets into the whole thing in the interview, but you really might want to check it out. So I have so much stuff I want to talk about today, but I also have a lot of stuff other stuff I got to get done today. So I'm going to do what I can. Thanks for watching this with me, getting an early start to the day. This has been fun. Talk to you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right